In Fairfield County, something new comes across my desk every day. Crimes are committed, cases are solved, and a community is made safe by the hardworking employees of the Fairfield County Sheriff's Office.
Welcome to This Week with Sheriff Dave Phalen, a weekly program here on LSN Television. We're also carried by a number of the radio affiliates here in Lancaster. Do appreciate you, the viewers and listeners that join us each and every week. This program has actually been televised for, I would say, 6-7 years, and we've been on radio for now going on starting 17 years. And Happy New Year as we go into 2017. I hope everyone had a safe and blessed Christmas, and it's certainly good to be back for another year. We have with us, back by popular demand, last week we had our Bureau Commanders. We're going to have them back this week to talk about some things they see for 2017. We have with us Lieutenant Alex Lape. He is actually our patrol commander, oversees the entire patrol division along with our SWAT team. We have Marc Churchill, our lieutenant in charge of the jail bureau, and he's got a lot of exciting things he's going to share with you today. And we have Lieutenant or Sergeant Jared Collins, and the Sergeant oversees the Detective Bureau. He just came over this year and thus far has been doing a terrific job. Lots of stuff going on as far as the Detective Bureau and the cases that they investigate. Well, let's start with you, Lieutenant Lape. Tell us a little bit about some things you see for 2017.
Well, in 2017, we're looking to provide some additional and future training for all the patrol deputies. Some of the things along those lines will be, of course, our regular course that we do that's mandated by the state. But along with that, I'd like to do some new types of training with regard to readiness to major events. A lot of people don't understand or even know that on a regular basis there's a group throughout the EMA, the Emergency Management Agency in Fairfield County, along with law enforcement, fire, that we regularly have mock training drills of natural catastrophes or events like that. So what I intend to do is to bring more of the frontline people into that training and get them more involved so they're more aware of what goes on in the event, say, a tornado would impact our community and what would be required of them in order to respond on a mass incident like that, and how things happen and what goes on behind the scenes when they activate the Emergency Operations Center, so on and so forth. It's a lot of stuff that I think a lot of people aren't aware of that goes on kind of behind the scene, but it's critical to managing and mitigating a big incident like that.
And when we see on television these major incidents that happen in other communities, whether it's, like you mentioned, a tornado would come through, some type of civil unrest, or a police shooting, there's a lot that goes into it.
There's a lot of behind the scenes activity that you don't see. You see, oh my gosh, you're seeing the news footage of the stuff that goes on, and you I think a lot of people who wouldn't know otherwise wouldn't know. There's a big network of things that are happening.
Lots of training before that incident happens, so we're prepared.
That's right.
And the other thing that sadly in 2016 we saw an uptick as far as the number of ambush killings of police officers. We've seen an uptick as far as officer deaths last year.
Right, and that's part of some of the training that we want to do this year too. Is the atmosphere's kind of changed in different aspects of society. This job, law enforcement job, is sometimes a thankless job, but for our benefit, the residents of our county really, do give us a lot of support, and it's a good relationship that we have with them. So, and our community feedback, reflects that and shows that they do appreciate the job that we do here in Fairfield County.
Every year hundreds of community feedback forms come across my desk, and that is a form that the deputy actually gives the citizen once they've completed their calls for service, and just really nice comments. I mean, 95% of them are just great.
Yeah, I think we have a really good partnership with the residents.
Yeah, we really do.
County, yeah.
We really do. Lieutenant Churchill, tell us a little bit about some things coming up in the jail this year.
Some of the things that I'd like to improve upon in the jail this year is our AA, NA meetings. It's totally volunteer based, and we've had some difficulty retaining our volunteers for that area. So it's one of the areas I'm going to look at and try and get some people that'll come in and provide some mentorship to the inmates for their AA, NA needs, which is AA is Alcoholics Anonymous and NA is Narcotics Anonymous. The other is GED classes. Right now we have an agreement with Eastland Fairfield Career Center, and they come in and they offer GED classes to our female inmates. I'd like to be able to expand upon that with our new facility, because we'll actually have the program space to do it, to offer GED classes for our male inmates. Again, the idea is to give them something of value that they didn't have when they leave.
Well, tell us a little bit about that new jail. Going to be opening in June?
June. Be a 384-bed facility. Finally, I think we can all agree. Jared and I came in about the same time, and in my career, I really never thought I would have saw a new jail where everybody would be in one facility, and I'm very happy that we're actually going to have that. So.
And for our viewers and listeners, right now we have 3 jails in our county to house our prisoners, so they'll all be housed under one roof.
One roof with better communication among staff, better communication among departments within the sheriff's office. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it's just been a wonderful experience to be able to be part of watching the facility be built, be part of the meetings, the understanding of why certain things were done or how certain things have to be built. It's just been a great learning experience.
Well, tell us a little bit about the facility.
It'll have 2 housing pods. One will be primarily for men, and that's a 244-bed facility. And then we have another pod that will house some male inmates, so it'll house our sex offenders in that area. And then we also have some male isolation cells, but primarily it'll house our female inmates. And that's a 144-bed facility at that point. So again, 384, it's going to be very nice. It's got 2 different central control pods. It'll have a state-of-the-art security system. We went up to Ripon, Wisconsin last month to test it, and it's going to be very user-friendly. And again, it's the facade on the outside. I think the commissioners did a great job picking the veneer that's going to be used for downtown. I think it's going to bring that corner is going to look 10 times better than what it did 5 years ago.
It's going to look like a nice office building.
Yeah.
From the outside, you're not going to be able to recognize it as a jail.
Yeah, when people picture a jail, they're picturing razor wire, fences, bars on the windows. Right. You won't see that. There'll be no razor wire. There'll be no fences. General public driving by, and unless they truly know that building is a jail, will have no clue, in my opinion, because it's going to be built aesthetically to fit into that area.
And we will be giving a tour to the citizens out there prior to opening. We will have times and dates, and I know we'll probably be all part of that. So that's really an important thing, and it's going to be such a helpful tool for law enforcement, for safety, for the community. And I'm appreciative of our county commissioners, Commissioner Davis, Kiger, and Levacy, that have come forward and gone ahead and moved this thing forward. And even with some political blowback, they have stood firm and done the right thing, and I'm appreciative of them for taking a stand and getting this jail going. Sergeant Collins, tell us a little bit about what you see for next year or this year for the Detective Bureau.
Well, we're going to continue to work these major cases, the homicides, things like that. We have kind of hanging out there. We're plugging away every day at these things, fresh leads, and we're going to stay on top of that stuff. We're doing a lot of research and development stuff on the way we do things, the level of training that our detectives are getting, and how we can do things better. We're also developing some patrol-related crime scene training, so we can take our patrol officers and just bring them up to the next step on processing these crime scenes and actually interviewing suspects and things of that nature. And then, of course, we're prepping for the big move. That's huge.
And you'll have additional interview rooms and a lot of different things in the new facility.
Oh yeah, great facilities. I mean, just kind of brings us into 2017, so to speak.
One of the things that we have talked about in recent weeks is you've been in the process, the Detective Bureau has been in the process of investigating two major events, two homicides that took place in a county where some women were deposited, thrown in a field after they'd been killed, and they originated from the south end. That's where they were from. And the level of support and cooperation that you've gotten with Columbus Police Department.
It's amazing, I'll tell you. You know, what a great organization up there. I know you come from there. It really has been a pleasure to work with them, and they've bent over backwards to help us. You know, you see, they talk about community policing, but you get up at 13th Precinct in that South Columbus area, and you really see it firsthand where these officers interact with the community. And I would consider it an at-risk community, but they have just a great rapport with the people on the street. And like I said, they've bent over backwards to help us with these cases.
Got a couple minutes left. Let's circle back to you, Lieutenant Lape. Thoughts for 17, the future of the Sheriff's Office? You've been around, all you guys have been here for a long, long time, right? How many years?
23.
23?
25.
24.
Wow, okay.
Well, one of the things that's going to change the kind of the law enforcement landscape when people are out and about, they're going to notice that our cruisers are going to start, we're going to start transitioning into the SUV. Unfortunately, our kind of workhorse vehicle, the Crown Vic, is a thing of the past, and we do miss the Crown Vic. That's kind of the mainstay. We tried several different vehicles. The issue is with our current fleet is maintenance. Unfortunately, the drivetrains and things like that don't hold up to the terrains that we end up operating these vehicles in. On the same note, we seasonally have to change all of our tires over in order to get some traction on some of these roads. And believe it or not, there are still roads in Fairfield County that don't have any pavement on it. There's still dirt and gravel roads out there in the southern part of the county. So we need a vehicle that's going to be able to operate both in an urban and a rural type environment. So it looks like we'll be going to the SUV type vehicle, and in the long run it's going to be a money saver because we won't have to do the tire switch seasonally and things like that. So that'll be a big help, and that's something that I think everybody will see, and it's going to be a plus.
We have about a minute. Have any last thoughts there?
One of the major things we're doing is we just have to rewrite all the jail SOPs, and basically that's the standard operating procedures the jail staff use. Since we're going to the new facility, the rules change. So that's been a big goal we're working on.
Sergeant Collins.
I think our people are our strength.
Yes.
Coming to work every day with these men and women is just, it's an inspiration.
Yeah. Well, what a good point to end on. You know, Sheriff's Office is a great Sheriff's Office because we have great people. I want to appreciate each one of you. You folks are the commanders of the major parts of the Sheriff's Office and continue to do a terrific job. Well, we're just about out of time, and it was a great year last year. We're looking forward to a wonderful year coming up in this year, 2017, and really it's amazing how time flies. The clock on the wall says we've got to go. God bless. We'll see you right here next week.